All right, welcome back for another edition of Dollar Bin Digging. This is the article and video series that I do for comicbookinvest.com every Friday, where I'm telling you about those books that you might still be able to find when you're digging in those cheap boxes, those dollar boxes, those back issue bins at your LCS, flea markets, wherever you do your digging. These are some cheap books that you should be keeping an eye out for that I'm thinking about, and I'm kind of looking for myself while we're going out there hitting these boxes. This is stuff that I like to think ahead about, just stuff coming from like shows, movies, MCU spec, things of that nature, comic book related first, whatever I think might be relevant that you might still be able to find in those boxes. Now, last week, I started a to be continued talking about Ms. Marvel, because we do know we're getting a Disney Plus series later this year, if not early next year. And we have a bunch of people cast, so we know things that are going to happen. So let's look at some of the books that might be important as they play out on that series and that show. Again, if you like what I'm providing, please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything. And if you just hang on for 1 second, we'll be back with this week's selection of books. All right, so as I teased about there in the open, we are going to be following up on last week's Ms. Marvel with a few more Ms. Marvel books, things that we can look ahead towards for her, for her Disney Plus show, and maybe even beyond that. Now, Ms. Marvel has been a popular character the last few years. I mean, a lot of people have been speculating on her books, and now is the time. Like, this is the time when things should be moving, but surprisingly, all's quiet on the Western Front, really, with a lot of these books. I think people are waiting for something big to drop, but I mean, we're getting pictures, we're getting casting news, we know the show is coming. I don't know what else people are waiting for, but here we are. Ms. Marvel is going to be arriving very, very soon. I mean, we already have, again, the girl cast. We've seen the costume. It seems to fit what's in the comics. It seems like a good adaptation of the look. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. And as I was getting into it a little bit last week when I was talking about the books to keep an eye out for, I was talking about Bruno, I was talking about Cameron and the love interest. And that's the thing, because, it's a young girl in high school, also a superhero. Even Peter Parker, what did they follow when you have a younger character? They also have to follow the relationships. The side characters are very important to those stories. They really are. So that's why we should really focus in on those side characters, because that character may end up being your favorite when you end up watching this show. Maybe you become a big fan of Ducky or Bruno or whatever kind of role he's going to play when they actually drop that show. But relationships definitely will play a key, I'm thinking. It just makes too much sense to not to. So when we think about that, who do we got? We got, again, that Inhuman, Cameron. Red Dagger has been a character a lot of people have been specking on the last year or two, with a lot of rumors and a lot of speculation that this character's going to show up. No confirmation yet that he will, but rumors are abound. And let's not forget, like I said, my man Bruno, because there he is. He is the best friend. He's right there. Will they? Won't they? Who knows? That being said, rumors of Red Dagger. Yes, Bean from the Ender's Game movie. And I think he also was in Dark Knight Rises, one of the Batman movies, as a young kid. I think it's, I forget his first name, but Knight, this kid Knight, is rumored to be playing Red Dagger because they spotted him in Bangkok or something like that. So, I mean, it's possible. It's possible he's cast. It's possible he's going to show up, but there has been no solid confirmation yet that he has been cast on Ms. Marvel and or that he is playing Red Dagger. So take it with a grain of salt, but those rumors are out there. I mean, he looks the part. I think it would fit. It would work pretty well if they did it, but just can't say it's set in stone just yet. But let's look at, this stuff for Ms. Marvel. Like I said, a lot of people have been aware about Red Dagger for a while now. So finding this Ms. Marvel 12 isn't going to be an easy task to find it in those dollar bins, but I still think I need to tell you about it so you are aware of it in case you come across it. This is from that second volume of Ms. Marvel. This one also had a lot of covers. So I'm not saying you're going to find these variants either, but if you do, you just be aware of them. I believe there was I think this is a 1 in 25 possibly, but we got this cover, we've got this Champions cover, and we've also got this I think it was Red Widow. I forget what it's called. This one has gotten big because of that Red Widow kind of tie-in. Nothing to do with like the guts of the book really, but it's just that cover people were running to it. So Ms. Marvel 12 with the first Red Dagger is a book that has, like I said, multiple covers out there. Just so you're aware. Just so you're aware. But again, this book ain't cheap because a lot of people have been buying it and speculating on it because it is, again, that first appearance of the character, Red Dagger, that everyone's expecting to show up. I still don't know if he's going to show up in this first run. This could be like a season 2 kind of thing. Somebody we see later. Who knows? Who knows for certain what we're getting, but just be careful. Don't spend a ton of money on these things. That's why I'm telling you, just keep an eye out for it in case you come across it in a cheap box. Because this book, sells. It sells pretty well. $55 to be exact with an August 20th sale. That's not cheap, especially when we're talking about dollar bin books here. What's available? Also, $40, $23. So it is not a cheap book by any stretch. And like I said, I get it. I know you're probably not going to find this one in the cheap boxes anymore, but I still wanted to tell you about it. I still wanted you to just be aware, just in case, because not everybody knows everything, and you never know what you can find out there when you go digging. And these two, it could be a good thing to play out on screen. It could be a lot of fun, especially if they build up some sort of relationship back at home, and then she's away, and then we introduce Red Dagger, and they get into some hijinks. Who knows? And their stories carry on. You can pick up some of the other issues they're in together. You might be able to find some of this run in those cheap boxes because, again, outside of the keys, most of these Ms. Marvel books aren't that expensive. They're cheap. They're in those back issue boxes. They're in those dollar bins to be had. So issue 23 is a little crossover between the two. That little tied up cover of issue 24 is also one that you might want to keep an eye out for. But the next one that I do want to make sure that you keep an eye out for is one I just kind of like the cover, this kind of Archie themed cover that we have here on issue 29, because this book also, if we see Red Dagger, could become a little bit important. So Ms. Marvel number 29 is one you want to keep an eye out for if you're digging in those boxes, because this is where they kiss. First kiss for Kamala Khan is Red Dagger. And here we have it. It's right there. I know. We're talking like romance, romance stuff here on this my comic book channel. You guys are like, what are you wasting my time with this? I'm just telling you what happens in the book. It happens, and I think it'll probably happen on the show at some point. So this could be an interesting book to keep an eye out for. So Ms. Marvel number 29 is the first time she kisses, and look who shows back up. Her buddy Bruno's back. See, I'm telling you, this plays out like a show would play out. This is the kind of thing you would see in a sitcom. Like, oh no, what do they do now? Bruno's back from his trip abroad, I believe it was. So, this is the kind of stuff that's just perfectly written for a show. Just saying. Just saying. Now, that said, that's another book that I think you should keep an eye out for. So, issue 29. What does this thing sell for? The last sold copy of this, $15. So it's already not super, super cheap. Some people are getting a premium on this book, so definitely one to keep an eye out for. And I don't think it's just because of that Archie kind of vibe cover. But, hey, you never know. You look at the asking prices, too. And look, yeah, they're all listed like Archie homage. So maybe it is. That's the only reason. But to my point, what's actually inside is also important. The return of Bruno, her first kiss with Red Dagger. Well, with anyone, but with Red Dagger. $20, $25, $15. Yeah, not too bad. If you find it for $1, you might score yourself a quick little flip. And getting back to my boy Bruno here. Will they ever? Will they, won't they? Well, not to spoil the series. I mean, these things are all out there. But yes, it does happen for them eventually. But not until the magnificent Ms. Marvel, which is the current series that we have. And this is issue 9 of that run. Now, a couple issues in this series from the... that kind of like her new suit and all that, like issue 5 and 13, I think, forget the name. It was like Amulet or something. It's like an introduction of another villain or character is in there. Got a little heat, but issue 9 is, as you can see on the cover, the first time that she actually kisses her best friend, Bruno. So, sweet moment. Again, it still doesn't look like it's going to happen. And then, yeah. Professing their feelings for one another, and then, yeah, they kiss. So, again, something that will play out on a show. Just something I can see happening. Whether you want that in a comic book or not, that's up to you. I'm just telling you it happened, and I just found this kind of stuff kind of interesting to go digging into these books to find out some of the story for Ms. Marvel and what we might actually see on screen. And then obviously she goes running off to go save the day because she's a hero after all. So this is some stuff I think you should keep an eye out for. And this book, again, it's not setting the world on fire. This is not going to cost you an arm and a leg. It's something you can keep an eye out for in this back issue bins, or just find for cover. $2.95 is the last sale on this thing. And if you look at what's actually out there and available, like I said, it's like a cover price book, $2.75, $3.50, $2.95. That's all undercover because I think it's a $3.99 book. But that's what's out there. Just some fun stuff. Some stuff I thought was interesting. Hopefully you found it interesting as well. If not, let me know in the comments. You can always tell me my ideas are bad, or you think this was dumb and you don't care about these little kitty romance stories that we might be getting on a Ms. Marvel show. I get it. Might not be your cup of tea, but I don't know. I'm just reporting what I see. That being said, hopefully you are enjoying this and you are enjoying the content that I'm providing and this perspective that I'm giving you, and just giving you some books that you should just be aware of when you're digging in those cheap boxes. I appreciate all the support. Please like, subscribe, hit the alert button so you don't miss anything, and I will be back next week with some more books.